Welcome to our very first episode of our brand new Marvel campaign, the new Vanguard, Piercing Chaos. We are so excited to be here and start our own Marvel adventure using the rules from the Marvel Multiverse roleplay game playtest book. We have so much planned for this season, so we hope you enjoy this story as much as we enjoy telling it. The excitement is through the roof, and we cannot wait for y'all to watch what we have planned. We're going to jump right into the story, but first, let's have the cast say who they are, who they're playing, and upcoming projects they're working on. And we start first with our wonderful narrator, Aliza. Aliza, you'd like to talk about yourself?
Sure. My name is Elisa Pearl. I'm a game master, a writer, an actor, performer, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Elisa Pearl, Aliza Pearl. I don't know what else. Yeah, that's it. I'm the narrator.
No problem. We're gonna make our way across to Aki. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hey everybody, I am Aki. I am going to be playing. Oh, I don't even want to say it because I'm so.
You can say their name.
Yes, their real name is Aid Hastings. I will be playing a character named Aid Hastings today. You're going to find out more about who they are when we start getting into character introductions. But I'm so excited to be playing them. As for future projects that I'm working on, I have a couple of things that are coming down the pipeline. I'm really excited because I think by the time that this airs, I will have already done my episode of Coyote and Crow with Aliza that's being streamed over for Streampunk's Coffee patrons, and I'm really excited about that. And then I have a little bit of a surprise hanging out. Not sure when that's going to be announced. I think fairly soon-ish, but I don't want to say anything just yet because I don't know exactly when this is going to air, and I don't know exactly where I'm going to be making that announcement. But yeah, I got a couple of things. You can find me on Twitter at MixGenie in a bottle. So keep an eye on that space for everything that I'm going to be up to.
Perfect. Next we have the wonderful Reeves. Like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Of course. Hello, everyone. I am at Big Dudery on all of the socials, so feel free to follow me there for a full list of everything I do. But I play TTRPGs, I GM sometimes, and do all kinds of cool stuff, especially over on the Rerolls channel. But tonight, I will be playing Usnavi da Costa, or Morningstar. And for you old fans of some mutants, you may recognize who he is. But stay tuned, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Ooh, all right. And next, we have the wonderful Nas Wicked. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Yeah, I am the Nosferatu. I am gonna
be Nosferatu.
Yes, not just A. I'm the. But no,
I know a couple people who might try to fight you for that claim.
Diablo Rico's brr. But no, my name is Nosferatu Wicked. I go by Nosferatu TTRPG on Twitter. I just mostly shitpost there, not really doing any long-term projects, but I bounced around the Cookout here and also the Bear Pen. Sometimes I show up on other streams as well. Whenever I'm not busy, which is basically never, I am playing a guy only known as John. And that's why I'm going to leave it at.
Perfect.
Lots of secrets.
So many secrets. As for yours truly, I am Kira A58. I play a hero you all have not heard of or seen before. So I think, as similar to others, I'm going to let that be unraveled when we get to character introductions. Outside of that, of course, you'll be able to find our content listed here, as well as our YouTube channel, the Cookout TTRPGs. around this time frame, we will have a show out called Parts Unknown, which is my first ever sci-fi campaign I've ever been in. It's been a lot of fun, so keep an eye out for that. I'm also in a campaign, the Bear Pen during this time frame will be their Blood on the Bayou, so you'll be able to check us out there on Sundays. And you know what? Just keep an eye out on our Twitter at the Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs for all of our TTRPG related goodness. And with that, I think it's time to transition to our fantastic narrator, Aliza. Aliza, take it away.
There are so many stories in a multiverse. And I personally have always been interested in telling multiverse stories. And so, as I look out at this multiverse, I see so many different moving parts. But one multiverse catches my eye. And I zoom in, and I see the Earth. Zoom in more, I see the North American East Coast. And it is not like what you all watching would recognize. It is not Earth 616. It goes by a different designation. GB 313. In this world, the movement of peoples happened differently than it did in 616. The people who are already on this land stayed on this land, grew in power, grew in skill. And when eventually people came over from the vast ocean, they met a different fate than they did in 616. Forces aligned to create a new nation. But many other nations still exist on this North American continent. That's where we find ourselves today, peering into this multiverse. We zoom further in, somewhere, it's hard to tell where, somewhere maybe in the south. Zoom into a field, a tin roof warehouse. Zoom past that roof into a sparsely populated warehouse room, about 50 by 100 feet across, large storage space, mostly with farming equipment pushed up against the sides, some light creaking in from cracks in the steel tin roof. In the center, there is a person tied to a chair. This person wearing a black fitted shirt, black slacks, nondescript black sport shoes, male, maybe mid-30s, with a wild poof of curly black hair. And he looks at the two people in the room who are staring at him, waiting for a response to a question. And he says defiantly, "I will not answer your questions. You will have to beat it out of me if you want to. But even then, I will not answer." Who is he saying this to?
He's saying this to a figure who stands at about 5'10" and has a shock of short, curly, brassy, orangish hair, green eyes, fair skin, but very obvious features denoting an African lineage, freckles, and they are dressed in what looks like some kind of like fitted tactical gear, featuring some blues and reds, and a star in the center of their chest, and affixed to their back is a quiver with some arrows and a bow stuffed in it, and in their hanging on their arm is a large shield But instead of the singular star in the center that we're used to, it is instead got 13 stars that go in a circle on a red backdrop. And just the outer edge of that shield has blue on it. They are speaking to Captain America.
And standing next to you, Captain America, is your patriot at arms? Is that the right term? Your compatriot, your sister from another mister who has fought with you many times over in many battles. She comes from a tribe that originally was outside this United States, formed from 13 colonies and many native nations joining forces. She's from a tribe called the Wanani tribe that's somewhere around what we in Earth 616 might call Alabama or Mississippi, somewhere along that border. She wears dove gray armor that is fabric, looks very clearly like it has some very strong padding to it. Her left arm is metal and has slats in it. Looks like it can retract. She has her hair in loose, long braids, mostly to keep the hair out of her face when she does amazing feats and combat skills right by your side. And you know her as Buckeye, your friend Buckeye, the Winter Warrior. Buckeye kind of seemingly casually, almost theatrically nudges you with her elbow and says, "Can you believe this guy?"
Not really.
Look, Frenchie. Do you want me to say it, Aid? I think you should say it.
We can do this all day.
Yeah.
You are vastly underestimating my patience, but it will run out eventually. And when that happens, things are not going to be quite so pleasant anymore. So if you cooperate and answer the questions we have, we can send you on your way with most of your limbs intact. Or, we could not, and Buckeye can have all the fun she wants. She's not tied to the same moral compass that I am. Sometimes I know better than to get in her way.
Buckeye swaggers over to Frenchie, puts her bionic arm on his shoulder, and leans forward into his face. Do you really want to do this? Or would you just answer a few questions? And now I think we're going to have the first roll of the game, because both Buckeye and Aid, Captain America, have a power called Interrogation, or a trait called Interrogation. Let's put that trait to use, shall we?
Wow.
Now let's see. I think I'm going to have you do this roll.
Okay.
And is there a specific question you would like to ask Frenchie?
Who? I think we need to get a bead on where where at least a base of operations for the their forces are.
Okay.
We need a way in so that we can start infiltrating their forces.
Okay.
Frenchie's got the goods.
Great. So your question for the interrogation is about finding out the base of operations.
Yeah.
And
I
it
just
can
go
be
full Darth Vader on this guy. Just like, where's your base of operations?
It should be noted for our Earth 616 viewers that this is, of course, not a world where the United States and France are allies. And there's something of a Cold War happening between. I think we should give the United States a special name. Don't you think so, Aiden Hastings?
Yeah, I don't think that they call themselves the United States. I think they probably call themselves probably the 13 is probably what they call themselves.
The 13. And of course, the 13 being some colonies and also some indigenous nations. Yes. They all joined together to become a nation together. I like that. The 13. So let's do your roll. And you will get edge.
Okay.
It's going to be an ego check. Oh, let me figure out the target number.
Edge means I have advantage.
Yes, and it specifically means you can re-roll one of your dice.
Cool.
One of the 3 d6.
Excellent. I need a target number.
Yeah, so the target number is going to be their this Frenchie, their defense number, which is, I'm going to say ego defense, which is 14.
14? Ah. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
And you can, I would say this will be ego versus ego.
So this is their defense. Their defense is just a 14. That's what I have to beat.
Yes.
That's funny. And I'm adding my action modifier to whatever I'm about to roll.
Exactly. Your ego action modifier, which is
1 less. By the way, I got a fantastic roll.
Oh, wow. Our first roll.
I rolled a 1 on my marble die.
Amazing.
So that's 5, 8.
And you have edge, so you can re-roll one of the other die if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll this one.
All right.
I rolled worse on it. That's okay. I still definitely beat it because I have like my action modifier on my ego check is ridiculous. 20. I rolled a 20.
Okay.
21. And the 1 is on my marble dice, so it's a fantastic.
All right. Fantastic success. So, how do you ask this question? What is the difference this time that makes Frenchie answer?
He pulls up a chair, sets it down backwards, and just comes up and straddles it, puts an arm on it. So, you managed to get yourself caught by me and by Buckeye. Do you really, really want to go back to your base of operations in shambles? Or do you want to go back in one piece with your dignity still intact? And if you do give us the location, we can protect you from whatever consequences might come down the pipeline. And that, I think, is worth a lot more than going back to wherever it is that your base is, looking like you just got tore up from the floor up.
You see him flop his head down in defeat. And finally, he speaks. You know what? Mix Hastings. I am not afraid to tell you that I have always admired you. I've always wanted to be on your side. I do not get treated very well.
That doesn't surprise me. We figured out a way to make things work here. And I think that sets us apart from a lot of other places. We're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. We're a damn fine example of what pretty much any other place could be.
You will protect me?
You have my word.
He looks you in the eye, looks over at Buckeye, and then looks back to you. And he says, Atlanta, We are based in Atlanta. Before you have a moment to react to this, the three of you hear a tearing in the sky above the tin roof. Could be a mile away, you're not sure, but it is a booming tear as if thunder itself is ripping the sky open. And it continues for what feels like an eternity, but probably is only about 7 seconds until it comes to a stop.
Buckeye, you keep an eye on him. I'm gonna go check it out really fast.
Got it, boss.
They put their shield on their back and string their bow and head outside.
Okay. You exit this warehouse, and it's one of those days that already seemed a bit cloudy. But now there is something not quite blocking the sun, but maybe filtering sunlight. You see colorful light reflecting all over the world around you, the grass, the hay, the road, the dirt road that's nearby. Colorful light. And you look up, follow where it seems to be coming from. And to your absolute shock, you see a huge, what looks like a huge crystal piercing through your world. Maybe a half a mile away.
Can I assume that to a certain degree there's at least been enough advancement that we'd have like a comm link of some kind?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. So I tap my comm link and kind of like, Buckeye, I don't know what I'm seeing out here, but it's I think we should try to get Frenchie to a safe location as quickly as possible, and maybe call in a larger squad. I'm gonna go ahead really fast to do some recon. If you don't hear from me in 15 minutes, call in the bigger guns, or we don't have guns. Call in the big dogs. Call in the big dogs.
And Buckeye says, absolutely, will do. And Buckeye knows when you say call in the big guns, that phrase still stands, even though, for the benefit of our 616 viewers, of course, because we all know this. This world, this country, the 13 nations, does not have guns. When the visitors came over the ocean and joined with the existing nations, those nations said, you can join us in peace, but you can't have guns. And so that's how it is in the 13. And so you give this directive to your partner, Buckeye, and she replies in agreement. Will do. What is your next move?
Yeah, I think they're going to start jogging ahead, and their whole, their whole kind of makeup is that they are kind of they have a lot of situational awareness. They have heightened senses. I think that they're just mentally taking as many notes as possible about what they're seeing, what they're experiencing. They probably have some kind of recorder on them that they're kind of recording notes into about what they're observing that can be uploaded like to their comm and saved and sent to mission control or whatever, like the command center. But essentially, they're just kind of, as much as possible, doing exactly that. They're doing recon. They're not attempting to engage it in any way. That's not the plan here. I mean, they're Captain America, but they're not. They're a soldier. They know not to go in half cocked on anything without proper backup. So they're first kind of getting lay of land.
Yeah. I'm looking at your speed to see how long it will take you to get.
Yeah, I can run like 29 feet per however many action. Yeah, 29 feet.
Actually, I just realized too, Captain America can probably run an 8-minute mile. Like,
yeah,
maybe even less. Probably less.
probably less.
You're there. If you're sprinting, you're gonna be there in like 5 to 7 minutes.
Because they are 100% a super soldier. That is a thing.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say if several minutes later, after doing your recon, but also running to get to this, you arrive. And again, it's actually in the middle of a town now that you've run down the road to meet where this thing has pierced your world. Go ahead and roll. Let's see. You have situational awareness trait, which gives you. Oh, that's.
I think it's heightened senses that we want to look at.
Yeah. Heightened senses. Yeah,
gives me an edge on my vigilance. So.
Yeah. So let's have you do a vigilance check, which is our perception, basically.
Right. And my target number.
Target number, I think, will just be challenging. It'll just be kind of the standard target. So that would be for you. One second. I didn't chart this out before we started playing, but that's okay.
You're all right.
We'll have it next time. Will I find it now, though? That's the question.
I believe in you. You got this.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, so for challenging for you at rank 10 is 23.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Nope, that's not where you belong. Go in there. All right, I'm gonna re-roll this one since I have an edge. Oh, okay, I rolled slightly better. So that's... I got a 19, which I think unfortunately is not gonna make it, but...
Okay.
Yeah.
You are kind of overwhelmed by what you're seeing. So you're not really getting some details, but what I can tell you is that you realize the thickness of this is vast. It's probably, let's see, it's maybe a third of a mile in circumference, whatever this crystal thing is that pierced. It's like a column sticking through the earth diagonally into the sky. You can't really see where it ends or begins. It seems like it continues somewhere on either end that you can't see. And at that moment, off to your right, nearby, the blue electric outline of a star spritzes into existence next to you. And you see the familiar star portal that calls you back to your base as a member of the Vanguard.
Interesting timing. I gotta go off the grid, Buckeye. You know where. I'll be back as soon as I can be. Go ahead and execute on making sure that we get some eyes on this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you were telling me to execute Frenchie. And no. Frenchie through the comm. You say, you hear Frenchie say, "What? I agreed to help you. Don't execute me."
No. Language barriers.
Buckeye out. I'm on it.
All right.
And all there is to do is step through this star portal that has opened up.
Yeah. It'll do that.
All right. I zoom out from this GB313 Earth and I see, strangely, another Earth is catching my eye. This one, looks more bleak. I'm not seeing as much power as I see in other worlds. Sad, really. I know what happened, but, well, you'll find out too. I zoom into this world And in a city on the North American continent, I see a gathering of humans. One of them has a bullhorn. The others are holding signs. Looks like they're about to start a protest to process through the streets. The person on the bullhorn, young woman, says, "We've let them kill our heroes for long enough. This has gone on too long." The crowd responds, "Yes, yeah." And she continues, "I say, we propose the Pro-Mutant Act, and we make our Congress say yes to this, because what we say goes. I don't want sentinels, I want heroes." And everyone just cheers and chants in excitement. But soon, booming down the street, we hear the heavy footfall of a dreaded sight for both humans and mutants, if they even still are here in this world. A sentinel peeking out from tall buildings turns the corner, turns its head and looks down at this gathering of humans. A sentinel that has been programmed to know that there are some humans that support mutants, but sentinels don't support mutants. So those humans must be enemies. That moment of robotic logic just doesn't take long. The sentinel turns that corner and starts proceeding to the gathering. It's a few blocks away. Where are you, Usnavi?
Usnavi is standing just off to the side of the crowd, wearing a long, kind of thick, tarp-like hoodie. And as he's watching the gathering, he feels a sense of pride at the fact that there are still people who want to change things. But as this abomination makes itself known, he stands up, and really before what should be possible for any man or machine, he stands in front of the machine, the air around him rippling with the force of his sudden entrance. And he looks up at the creature, and as he does, his skin begins to turn this deep night black. And he holds up one hand. "I think I'm gonna have to step in here, friend." And he unleashes a torrent of fire and light that almost looks like the beginning of a beautiful morning sunrise. And just for a moment, the square that they're standing in erupts in this beautiful, inspiring light. I think you all should probably go someplace else for the moment.
The crowd had fallen silent at the sight of the sentinel down the street. And when it started walking towards them, you could hear and feel that dis-ease. Not screaming yet, not running yet, just dis-ease. And when you step in between them, gasps of relief and also fear as that beautiful firelight emanates from you, and they start to run away in different directions. The sentinel, now zeroing in on you, actually locks in on you. You're used to this. It has happened a lot. You might even say, if I may, knowing how a lot of your characters are, you're probably a little cocky. You can handle sentinels. You've done it before. You're still alive, aren't you?
Far too slow. Far too slow.
Exactly. So you recognize that cybernetic when it locks onto you as its single target. And Did you already make an attack, or was that just a display of your power?
I would say that's up to you. It can be an attack. I have no issue attacking the giant robot. Or it can just be show off. I don't know if you wanted to have like an initiative roll first or not.
Yeah, let's roll initiative. Okay. So initiative in this system, since we're all rolling this for the first time, is our D616 plus our initiative bonus.
I believe this is a fantastic roll because it's one on the Marvel die and then 2 other numbers on the other ones. Don't think that does anything special for initiative though, but I could be wrong.
Let's see. Yes. So your Sentinel friend does have an edge on initiative. And okay, so, but they also rolled really well, so I think I'm not going to use the edge. What did you get? Your total.
I believe you have to use the edge once you've rolled it, correct? No.
Well, yeah. If you do roll edge, yes. But you can decide
then
not
I have
to
a
use
15, 16 total.
Oh, yeah. The Sentinel, before you are able to attack, having locked in, blasts an energy beam from its eyepieces. Let's see how this goes. So, ranged attack. The Sentinel will have edge because they locked into you. And let's see how this goes. I'm going to re-roll 1 die with my edge. Oh, I'm glad I did that. I'm going to use a calculator. There's a lot of math in this system. Okay. What is your defense score for... Oh, what would this be? I believe agility?
31.
Well, I guess it depends on what you would like to do. Would you like to dive out of the way? Would you like to...
I'm just going to take the hit.
Take the hit? Okay, then that would probably be might.
22.
What was it?
22.
Oof. Well, I think it's that line of sight. They just get you. And that is going to be, you're going to take energy damage. That was a success. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to roll damage. 4, 8, 15, 17 energy damage, which is, that does take from your health, by the way.
So as this attack comes, Usnavi holds out the palm of his hand, and instead of hitting him, it seems to be absorbed directly into his palm. And for a moment, his eyes flare bright golden red. And I have energy absorption, so I can absorb any energy damage and turn it into focus.
Amazing.
Then there is no limit to spending this focus for an attack. So when it's my turn, I'm gonna use it.
Amazing. This Sentinel, maybe it's new on the field. Maybe it was recently built. It hasn't gotten all the hive mind info about you, because all the other Sentinels would know this. This one didn't. So it lances out that energy beam to you. You absorb it, and now it's your turn.
I'm gonna attack now because it's my turn.
Your defense here will be 27. That's what you are.
I have 2 edges on this, so I'm going to reroll 2 of the dice.
All right.
And no special roll. So it's going to be a 9 plus. Is the hit number 20? So 29.
That hits.
Hit.
Yep.
Cool. So it's going to take a lot of damage. 6. And I'm going to spend all 17 of that. Then 46 plus another 11, 57 plus 17. Yes, so plus 17. So, oh geez. Okay, so 11 plus 35, that's 46. Plus 11, 57. Plus 17, 74.
All right.
Of damage.
That takes a real nice, nasty chunk out of this sentinel. 75, you said?
54.
74. Okay.
I'm gonna need a calculator for this game.
Right. Yeah, I literally have my calculator right now. Okay. This blast of sunlight energy just affronts the sentinel and it staggers back. If it could look surprised, it would. And now it's the sentinel's turn. I'm gonna say, seeing that you absorbed its energy, it's just gonna try to like bash you. So you see it raise its fist up and try to come crashing down on you. And what is your might defense? Oh,
22.
22. Well, I'm gonna re-roll one of these and let's see if it's, oh, okay. It could have been an ultimate fantastic roll, but not quite. So you said 22.
Bad juju on me.
This is might. Plus 21, 24. You said 22? Okay, so 24.
22.
24 hits. This is now fight damage instead of range damage. And 2, 10, 35 plus 7.
2.
42. You take 42 damage.
Fine.
What do you do on your turn?
All right, well, I'm pretty sure the others have had enough time to get away from here. And this time, he is going to use the same attack as before, so I'm going to roll that. That's 8 plus 20, so 28.
28 hits.
Except for this time, he's going to spend 30 points of focus, which is his maximum.
Wow.
All right, so let me do some math here. All right, so 5, 10, 14 plus 35, so 49 plus 11 plus 30, so 90 total.
You just did 90 damage to the sentinel?
Mm-hmm.
How do you tell me what happens when you render this sentinel inoperable?
He brings both of his hands together, and just for a moment, there seems to be a miniature sun growing in between the two of them. And he aims directly at the sentinel and then up, so that way the explosion should dissipate into the air. And then he looks at the robot and goes, "Right, well, you all should really get better, or whatever it is you all do." And as he unleashes this energy, it's almost as if a concentrated beam of light fires out from the palms of his hands and completely bisects the robot in two, and then just kind of continues off in the distance.
Yeah.
Probably leave.
As the two halves of the sentinel clatter to the ground, two things. First, a poster that's just kind of like almost like a tumbleweed being swept down the streets of Chicago. It rolls over the body of the Sentinel and it says Mutant Act. That's all you really see. You've seen these posters a lot before. You know what it says, but the prominent red words, red bold letters, Mutant Act, as it passes by. And the second thing is, I want to have you roll a vigilance check.
Okay. That is 7, 9, 22. 9 plus 13.
Okay. And that you are, you're rank 15, right?
Yep, 15.
And that was a 22. And this probably wouldn't have been, this would have been routine, actually, I would say. You just want to see if you hear something. Rank 15 minus 2, 24. Yeah, no, you didn't hear something that happened at the same time as the Sentinel clattering to the ground and spritzing out its wiring and electrical circuits all losing power. It was pretty loud and you were pretty close to it. But what you do hear is maybe those same people in this kind of like a little bit desolate area of Chicago who ran away before. You hear gasps from people half block away. You hear a lot of people reacting to something.
He will fly up into the air and then make his way over.
Okay. You actually, when you fly up into the air, you don't even need to roll vigilance for this because now you see it. It has to be this that people were reacting to. A pillar of crystal dissects your world, extending into the sky at an odd angle.
Uznavi's going to land in front of it and not quite touch it, but kind of move his hand over it to see if he feels anything coming from it.
Yeah, so you fly over. You're very fast at flying, so it only takes half a minute probably to get to it. And you said you put your hand on it?
Just above it to see if he feels anything like heat or anything radiating off of it.
Yeah, you feel it. It feels cold.
You all should go back. More of those things will be here soon. And I've never seen something like this before, have I?
No, especially not this size or this scale.
He wants to see if it conducts heat or really any energy at all. So just put a little bit of solar power into it, just a smidge.
Cool. Yeah, go ahead and roll for your I guess a ranged attack. Would that be an agility for your power?
Ranged. 11 plus, so 31.
Okay.
Then let me know if I need to do the damage for it or not.
You don't. This thing, it's not ice, so it doesn't melt. It does seem to be this solid, clear-ish material. And as you radiate your energy into it, you can see that it is taking the heat, but it's withstanding it. It doesn't crack at all. But it does seem to be warming the temperature up. It's responsive to heat.
And how big does it look?
It's huge. It's about a third of a mile in circumference. Yeah, around. And like a crystal, it also has like the sides are not rounded or squared. It's like multiple sides, multiple edges to the sides.
And try and touch it and pick it up.
At that moment, the star portal that you know to be bringing you back to the Vanguards opens up near you.
But of course. And he'll turn and step into the portal.
Okay. I zoom back out in this multiverse. There's a lot happening right now. And I see one that's a bit drab in color. I zoom over to that because I have a feeling things are about to happen there too. I hear the sound of slow jazz playing somewhere in the distance. It's New York City. It's a hot night, the kind of night that you want to dunk your head in a bucket of cold water, but there's no respite from the heat. It just sears your soul. Walking in the alleyways of New York, I see a man wearing a soldier's uniform, but it's an old soldier's uniform, and everyone knows this. This is John. Solitary John walking the streets. John, what do you look like?
John looks disheveled. He has short-ish brown hair, kind of a weird mix between a stubble and a beard, and a bandage across his nose. And the uniform usually is either currently worn very casually. So that means he's just having it open. They can see shirt, what probably passes for dog tags. And he's just walking around looking for something, sometimes looking up at the roofs, probably expecting to see the spider, but no luck.
You find yourself wandering down this street and you recognize this street. You usually try to avoid it, but your steps have been leading you here for some reason. You see the entrance of a converted brownstone. A sign over the entryway that reads, "The Amazing Blackheart." And then underneath that, "Mystic Extraordinaire." And paintings of things like ravens and dice and feathers and playing cards and magic crystal balls. That's all painted on this sign around those words.
John just kind of looks at the signs. Can he feel the thing inside of him wanting to get out?
Oh, yeah. The closer you get to this entryway, that burning feeling grows, threatening to take you over.
And he just takes a deep breath. It's like, damn it, I hate this. And he's just gonna let it slowly take hold because there is no point in resisting him anymore.
When that burning hits, there's no denying it. It takes over your body, your soul, your whole skull is inflamed before you can say boo. And inside, there seems to be some type of revival happening. Someone trying to contact the spirit world. But Blackheart knows. Blackheart knows what's outside that door because Blackheart has faced off against that burning skull many times. It's one of his favorite pastimes, actually. And so in a blink, your skull is flame and Blackheart is on the steps of this brownstone, looking down at you. Blackheart Noir, you actually know this person as Bret Hart. Bret with 2 T's, H-A-R-T. But he goes by his stage name, the Amazing Blackheart, Mystic Extraordinaire, Fortune Teller, Palm Reader, Spiritual Advisor. And you know that he has about 40 people who follow him. He's kind of a burgeoning cult leader, though he would never use that word. He's gaunt. He's about 6 feet tall, pale white skin, black lipstick, smudged eye makeup, black top hat, and a loose-fitting black pinstripe suit. He's gangly. It's almost like his limbs could fall off and turn into black tentacles at any moment. He stares at you. Hey, soldier. I've missed you.
The burning skull just kind of tilts. He just points and says, "Back to hell," and starts approaching Blackheart.
Oh, baby, you know that doesn't work on me. But I like it when you try.
The chain comes out from one of the sleeves, and he's gonna try to trap him.
All right. Let's actually roll initiative.
Let's go. Fun.
Fun. Ooh.
There's the initiative button.
Now, let's see.
Ooh, what does this mean?
Oh, let's see what you rolled. So I see you have. Looks like it. Oh, no, I'm looking at the wrong roll. Oh, ho, ho. That's a nice roll, John. I believe you did better than our friend. Okay, so, and the way initiative works, we both got fantastic rolls because I also rolled a 1 on my Marvel die. But your total is higher than mine. So you will go first. And since there's only 2 of us, a bonus round doesn't really apply here. It doesn't matter. You will go first.
So you just have to click the powers, or how does it work?
Yeah, so you want to use your ghost chains, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we flavored that. We used the web slinging and we're flavoring it as your chains. So let's see, under web slinging, I think that would be a ranged attack. So you'll do an agility based attack. So you roll your 3d616 and add your ability action modifier. Agility.
What button do I click? It's more the question what I'm asking.
What's that?
What button do I click?
Oh, yeah. So can someone help? I actually don't know how to roll things yet in this.
If it's arranged, it would be you can hit the total action modifier next to agility.
Oh, he just clicks that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Should roll it.
What's the target number?
Oh, yes. The target number would be Blackheart Noir's defense, which would be 23.
23. Let's go.
Oh.
Oh,
We just got our first botch roll.
Oh boy. Perfect.
Oh,
Let's
roll
go.
20 coming again.
Okay, so a botch roll, for those of you watching, new to this system, is when you roll 1s on all 3 of your D6s. So your chain misses, and actually we'll let you decide how this, it fails, the chain misses, but what is the extra bad thing that happens because of the botch?
I'm guessing the debris from the chain goes out with such force that it gets caught in the wall either next to or behind Blackheart.
Yeah. So your chain just gets stuck. It actually, it was, would you say it was, you had used your Hellfire on the chain at this moment?
Not yet. Okay,
then never mind. It just cracks, and it probably gets hooked onto something, like a nail sticking out of the stone wall. Blackheart, or Brett, looks at the chain, looks back at you, and laughs that annoying laugh that you hate so much. For his turn, he's actually going to use, let's see. Yeah. Okay. He's going to use his wisecracker power. In which he irritates a foe with his sharp wit. So, oh, never mind. Wait, I can't do that unless I succeed in an attack on an enemy in earshot. So I will try to make an attack first. No, wait, no. Or an enemy in earshot fails an attack on them. So yes, you failed your attack. So he's going to make a wisecrack at your expense. Let's see how he does before we know what the wisecrack is. Oh my God, that was pretty good. I don't have edge on this, I don't think. Oh, wait. I can have edge. Oh, no. Do this after all. No. I don't. Okay. No, I'm not going to use edge on this. So let's see. It just says the enemy takes physical psychic damage. So this was actually a damage roll I did.
Oh boy.
I don't think I even need to like roll for it. Cracks a joke and yeah. So that's going to be 6 plus 1. So 10 plus 30. So that's 38 plus 4.
Ooh, 38 plus 4. 42.
42 psychic damage. And what does Blackheart say? What? In the chat, yes. This puts vicious mockery to shame. Yes. Blackheart once again chuckles that annoying laugh that you've known for almost your whole life since you've known this person. And then he looks down at you and says, "Maybe it's time I read your palm. Oh, wait, you don't have palms. All skeleton." And this enrages you so much that you take that psychic damage.
The fire grows, flares up around the skull. So it's his turn now?
Yeah, it's your turn. Okay. Oh no, yeah, it's your turn. That was his turn.
He kind of, as the flame flares up, the skull just kind of puts his fingers up like this and says, "You talk too much." And just snaps his fingers and does the energy beam.
Okay.
Hellfire.
All right.
Let's see. I roll range? No, that's ranged damage.
Yeah, so agility would be your ranged attack. So you'll roll the action modifier for agility, which for you is 19.
Again, what's the target number?
Target number is going to be his might again, so 23.
Oh boy.
And actually, I want you to describe to us, because this is the first time we're seeing you use your mystical hellfire. What does that look like?
The hellfire is actually a weird mixture of like a normal fire and like a blackened, almost smoky, ashy. It is like, if you smelled it, it probably smells like battlefield and gunpowder. And it looks like a fantastic success on my end.
All right. Yeah. So. Oh, I see. Great. So you got 19. Wait, I'm confused. 1 second.
I got one at the Marvel one, and then 2.
So that total.
It's 28.
But you're plus 19, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Yes, that does hit. And so what happens how do you launch this hellfire at Blackheart, and what is the effect that it has on him?
He just snaps his fingers, and suddenly, like, probably from the hole that the chain made, just like an explosion of fiery, well, hell unleashes. And just if a skeleton could laugh, you just probably hear like a low chuckle.
Amazing.
What's the damage? Do I roll it twice or once when it's a fantastic success?
Oh, good question.
Powers.
Oh, I don't think it does double. I don't think we have double damage on fantastic rolls here. Automatically succeed. You can ignore any trouble. Oh wait, that wasn't that was a fantastic roll.
It says the enemy is also blinded, dazzled until the attacker's next turn.
There you go. So Blackheart is blinded or dazzled, whichever you prefer.
Probably blinded. Like the explosion from behind him just rattled him and probably sent him a bit forward as well.
Mm-hmm. You hear, so that explosion happens in his face, and you hear, oh! And on that reaction, you hear the people inside in the revival. It gets quiet, suddenly stops. The music, the drums stop. And from where you're standing, you start to see people crowd in the doorway and watch.
Do I roll ranged damage?
Did you? Yes, go for it.
Target's defense was the 23. Wait, I think we messed up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just roll your damage now, which has its own button. There you go. Yeah. Whoo, that's a lot of damage. So I see 54 damage. Is that correct? That's what you're seeing?
I think it should be that, yeah.
Yeah. From this, Blackheart, very dramatically, because Blackheart is pretty dramatic, as you know, kind of stumbles down and like splays himself on the stairs. And you can see that he has taken a lot of damage truly, but he's also aware that his followers are behind him watching and listening now, and says, "Oh, you evil monster, why did you do this to me? What did I ever do to you? I just welcomed you into my spiritual home and you rejected me."
Oh boy. Yeah, you can see the skeleton just look at the followers. It's probably scanning them for who's actually innocent before turning its attention back to Blackheart.
Yeah.
And he just reaches into his military uniform and pulls out both of his pistols, which are probably glowing red with hellfire right now.
More gasps from the peanut gallery at the top of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, it's the devil! It's the devil! He's come to take our Blackheart! Oh!
And the skeleton just responds with worse.
It is at that moment you all hear a ripping, tearing in the not too far off distance, as if thunder is tearing a hole in the sky. Unlike anything you've really ever heard. And that shuts up the peanut gallery for sure. And even Blackheart is kind of stunned, not knowing what's happening.
One of yours.
Blackheart shakes his head. No.
Kind of looks at him. I'll deal with you later. And just probably fires off a shot right next to his head just to intimidate. There is like a puff of fire where the bullet lands, and he just walks away.
Okay. Oh, the night. It's a hot night in New York City. And you make your way. Are you walking or do you have your bike?
He probably summoned his bike.
All right. Oh, yeah. Even better. You summon that bike and it comes ripping past Blackheart's front stoop, which also gives Blackheart a little jump, a startle. Rips, speeds by, catches up with you, leaving a trail of flames on the cold concrete, the hot concrete because it's summer. What kind of bike is it, you might wonder? Earth 616 watchers. Can you describe your bike?
I didn't count on having a bike, but it's probably a... I had a picture for this. And I lost it. But it's probably a early World War I motorcycle, American. That is probably an early version of the Harley Davidson.
All right. Early Harley Davidson. You see this classic. Well, Earth 616 would call this a classic or a vintage. And it is also sleeked out, has some of its coverings, its casings have turned to what looks like metallic bones and skeleton. And of course, there's the accent of flame all over it.
It's the J model for anyone interested.
Thank you. I'm going to make a note. Oh, I just channeled Jason Carl there. I love it.
Love to see it.
J model Harley Davidson. You hop on your bike?
And he goes to the source of the commotion.
Yeah. You get close enough to it to see, maybe half a block away, that it is a large pillar with a huge circumference piercing through the city, straight up and into the sky. Would you like to take a closer look?
You would.
Go ahead, and as you approach, you're going to roll your vigilance.
Oh boy. Something I'm not good at. Vigilance. What is the target number?
Just go ahead and roll, and I'll let you know.
All right. $17.
Okay. You are overwhelmed by the enormity of this thing. Can't really make out any other details besides that it looks like a crystal. It's nighttime, but it does look like it might be clear-ish. And it looks not smooth all around or square. It looks like it has multiple sides, kind of like a pillar, but it's very large. It's probably a third of a mile. Now, see, my measurements are going to be really bad. I'm going to say it's like a block and a half in circumference. That makes sense. I think that makes sense. And at that moment, the familiar star portal. It's been a while since you've been summoned, but you would never forget what this means. Who is calling you for their aid?
The skeleton kind of lets out an annoyed sigh through the gritted teeth and lets John take over again so he can go through the portal.
Okay. The flames retreat and the flesh comes back to your skull as you walk through that star portal. There's one more multiverse that I'm noticing tonight. And I have a feeling things are about to go down there as well. But this time I zoom in to a classroom. Some adorable 7th graders. Precocious, smart, pretty well behaved, but there's always the one in the back passing a note to their friend, or someone pulling someone's pigtails behind the teacher's back. But in this classroom, we have someone who's really not like the other kids. Orion, tell us, what do we see? And also, where in the classroom are you sitting?
So you see a smallish individual, probably standing at around 4'3", 4'4", has golden curls, blonde hair, clearly looks of someone of a biracial descent, has a light skin tan, with bright hazel eyes. They're wearing a green sweater. It has like a white hoodie on top, but the hoodie is folded back. They're wearing these long black, almost jogging pants, and these white, not really Chucks per se, but they're like white sneakers. And they're sitting not all the way towards the back, but around the second half of the class per se. And you see them, they have a pencil and a notebook. And while the teacher's probably talking, they're probably doodling in the top right-hand corner. A little sketch. And as probably the camera kind of zooms in, and you see probably an image of what looks like another person with gold hair and a gold glow surrounding them. Who could that be? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe he looks familiar. I'm not sure. But and that's what you see as they're drawing towards the side, not really paying too much attention, as you can almost see their tongue sticking out of their mouth as they're drawing, trying to iron down and get this particular character as close to a likeness as possible.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cecilia, a girl sitting next to you, leans over and looks. It's pretty good.
Oh, thank you. He kind of looks to make sure that the teacher isn't staring, to make sure they didn't get caught. He was just like, you draw too?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, let me see.
Okay.
Don't be ashamed.
She opens her notebook and shows you a really good drawing of an anime character. Like, really impressive.
That's kind of. What do you mean, kind of? You should be working for Shonen Jump already. I mean, look at that thing.
She bursts into a giggle she cannot contain. And the teacher turns around from writing on the board. Cecilia, do you have something you want to share with the class? If it doesn't have to do with the Civil War, then I suggest you keep it to yourself.
That was my fault. I apologize. That was on me. I'm sorry.
Well, Ryan, thank you for taking responsibility. Both of you, pay attention. The Civil War, and she continues on with her lesson, turns back to the board.
And I think during that moment, they kind of ask their co-pilot inside their brain and just saying,
hey, you're getting all this, right?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
Okay. So as long as...
What, you want me to take your test for you now?
I would, it has to help out in some way, shape, or form. I mean, like, this is a give and take relationship. This is the take part.
That's not how this works.
What?
I kick in when you're the big guy.
So
when you're the little guy, you're on your own.
What? So I actually have to study?
Yes.
Is there see, so usually in video games when this happens, there's like a little option where you can sweeten the deal and they make it a bit easier, so therefore I can convince you. What little option could I choose from a game that will allow you to listen to this? Because I'm struggling. I tried for like 5 minutes and I was like bobbing and weaving like a boxer that was struggling.
You know what that sounded like to me?
Uh-oh. What was that?
Human nonsense.
Okay. Why? This is so hard. Okay, fine. I will try to listen. Well, you can at least help me out there. Can we make this like a 50-50 ordeal?
Not only does she go silent, but you sense something. What are your heightened senses? Do you have heightened senses?
I think I do actually.
Let's see.
Oh, did I die? I thought I chose that.
That's okay, because I'm going to say this actually has to do with a different part of a different trait. This is the voice in your head. This is her heightened sense. She says, shh, something's coming.
Right
Get
now?
outside. Get outside right now.
What am I supposed to say?
And say I don't know. What do you humans tell other humans when you have to leave a place?
They stand up really quickly like, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yep, take the pass. 10 minutes. I'm starting the timer.
Okay.
And she presses a timer on her table, on her desk.
10 minutes.
And turns back to the desk, to the board.
And they'll quickly grab the pass and it's like, okay. And once when they head outside the room, they think inside their brain, like, okay, where do I go? Where do I go? Where do you sit?
You hear a ripping in somewhere in the distance. You know what thunder sounds like. You know what lightning sounds like. It's neither of those. It is the strangest sound you've ever heard. And it's very loud. And you can tell it came from not that far away. It actually shakes the school.
That is not an earthquake. And I know because we get those, and that does not feel right. Okay, I'll be right back.
And then they're going to try to head outside the school to see if they can find a spot to like hide.
As you are heading down the hallway of the school to get to the exit at the far end, you pass by classrooms, and as you pass by, you see kids running to the windows on one side of the school. Whoa, Mike, what is that? What? And teachers saying, stay away from the windows. It's fine. Everything is fine. And you see some teachers getting on their phone, calling 911. There's something outside the windows they're all noticing. You get to the end of the hallway, hit that exit door with the hall pass flapping in your hands. And you see it. A pillar has busted through the concrete of the parking lot of this school. You are just on the edge of it. It looks like you're so close to it, you can't tell what shape it is, but it is long and it extends the length of the school and then bends out of your view. It's so close. If it had been just mere feet closer, it would have upended the foundation of the school. You look up and it goes into the sky to you can't even see where.
What is this? And who would attack a school? Okay, wait. I got this. I can do this.
And you see.
Do you have your cell phone on you? Quick question.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So they're going to first grab their cell phone, check and see if there's any messages of somebody sending anything around this time.
Yeah, you actually get a phone call. As you check your phone.
Who is it? Caller ID, fortunately.
Your sister. It's your sister.
They'll pick up the phone.
Hi.
Orion, Orion, oh my God, are you okay? What is that? There's something that just busted through the earth or appeared, and it looks like it's by the school. I'm on my way. Are you okay?
Yeah, we're told to stay away from the window. So, if people are just getting a camera out and then they're just recording it on TikTok. So as long as we just do that, I think we should be fine. I think.
You notice as you have this conversation, your eyes drift. Actually, go ahead and roll a vigilance for me.
Oh, okay.
And then, target, you roll it and we'll see.
22.
Okay. Yeah, you can't see anything around the sides of this thing. But on the phone with your sister, you reassure her, yeah, everything's okay. People are just taking TikToks. And as that conversation happens, she actually arrives. She alights down. She flies over the roof of the school, alights down next to you, hangs up the phone and says, you made it seem like you were inside the school.
Yeah, and then I thought maybe I should just investigate so I can help you out. I can take a picture and then send it to you so you know what you're dealing with. I did a good job, right?
Sure. And she walks over to it, and I'm gonna have her roll her vigilance. That was good. Okay. She says, do you hear that? She starts running with her super speed down this wall of crystal that has appeared in the world to the other side of it, around the bend. Do you follow her?
Yeah, but in this form, I am not that fast.
All right. Would you like to change forms? You are in the bath. Orion went to the bathroom. So whoever is outside the school, no one knows.
But she doesn't know either.
She doesn't know either?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So what would you like to do?
I think they're going to try. They can't change right now because it'd be too much of a giveaway.
Okay.
I mean, they're not the smartest tool in the shed, but they're not completely dumb. So I think they're just going to try to jog wait, I'll keep up. Oh, I got cramps. Oh, ouch. Okay, wait, I need some bananas for potassium. And they'll keep running their way, trying to follow suit to where she's heading off to.
All right. Orion, yeah, you follow behind your sister. And she is pushing a car back over. It had been flopped over by this thing entering the world. And she flips it over, pulls someone out of the seat.
Oh, we're gonna need some help. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to see if I can get some more help. And then I'll go safe inside the classroom. Will you be okay out here?
Yeah, I got it. Just go back to your classroom. It's fine.
Okay.
You okay, man? And she's tending to this person, looking for other people who may have been around. You turn to go back to the school?
Yes, but instead of going fully inside the school, they're looking for a bush that they could perhaps dive inside, like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah, since you followed your sister, you're now at the other end of the school from where you exited. And yeah, there are some bushes nearby.
So they're going to essentially, when they think they have no line of sight from anyone, they're going to dive into this bush and be like,
oh, that was a close one. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go.
And as they do so, you see them kind of bend down for a second, and the ground underneath them starts to splinter, almost like spider webs that generates from their legs, from their feet out to the grass. And as they do so, you see this ionic energy wrap around them almost like a fluorite crystal. You see purples and greens and blues, and it almost looks like an essence of space in a energy-based form. And as they do so, their body starts to grow drastically, way taller than what they used to be. 5 feet, 6 feet. And then towards the end, they stop at around 7 feet 1 inches. A relatively big individual. And as the transformation completes, you see the energy spark out, and the splinters shifts from just spider webs to an actual crater as they transform into their superhero pose known as Divinity. Divinity, of course, has the same color scheme as the ionic energy of the purples, the blues, the greens. They look alien of sorts, definitely not of this world. And as they look around, they're just like, okay, let's try this again. And they're going to fly over to where their sister is and look down, fly in the sky and see the crystal. And it's like, all right. And this is inside their head. They're talking to the person. They're like, what do we do? Do we pick this up? Do we take this out? How do we take care of this?
I have never seen anything like this before in my entire long existence.
Oh, of course. Why am I not surprised? And then they fly on down. And as they fly down in front of his sister, who takes the role of Hyperion, he stands next to her and say,
How can we help? What can we do?
Oh, finally, where are the young Avengers? Like, where is everyone? There are some people across the street that some light poles fell down on their cars. We just like help people, okay? Just help people.
no problem. I'll take care of it.
Behind her, as she's saying this, away from the school too, a star portal appears.
And you just see them pause and just stare, like you know that dramatic like head turn you see on TV. You just see them just like turn to the side, like now. And as
Hyperion says, "What?"
Oh, nothing. And with that, they kind of just like fly towards that portal in space to see if they can make their way inside.
Yeah, you do. You fly straight into it. And as you disappear into it, Hyperion watches you fly and like turns to the camera and says, "Why are they going in that direction?" Doesn't even like look far enough to see the star portal before she's going off to help more people. And that's when you all meet up in this gathering place, separate from the multiverse, its own pocket dimension that you've come to know and love as the headquarters of the Vanguard. Standing in this pocket dimension, which by the way, is almost like a bubble, a large bubble about half the size of a cathedral, and with as vaulted ceilings as a cathedral, made of, well, fractured pieces of the multiverse fabric. You walk into this space from the star portals from your various multiverses, and standing there waiting for you are the tall, bobble-headed, purple-robed entity known as Uatu. And standing next to him, the 26-year-old young woman wearing a jean jacket with a star painted on his back that you know as America Chavez. Mm-hmm. These are your leaders, the leaders of the Vanguard. They greet you as you all enter this room. The star portals disappear behind you. And Uatu says, By now, I'm sure we all are aware of something piercing through all of your multiverses and many more. And America says, I'm sure you have a lot of questions. We do too. We have no idea what's going on, but
That was the first question I was going to ask. What the fuck is going on?
exactly. We don't know. This is strange. I'm hoping that maybe I can reverse time a little bit to before it happened so we can track and find out where it came from. I've been having trouble doing that, to be honest. This thing seems impervious to my time powers. Uatu says, I have seen many things, everything that has happened and will happen, and I did not see this. And America says, well, then you haven't seen everything that has happened or will happen. I mean, okay, I get it, but we clearly need to figure this out. I brought you all here because obviously people need help in all the different multiverses, not just your own. There are many multiverses that were pierced with this thing. We need to help them, but we also need to figure out where this came from because this can't happen again. This is, I mean, talk about multiversal threats. This is a major Mondo one, and I will not stand for it. Not in my multiverses.
Any of you managed to get a good look at what? I mean, I tried to do some recon on mine, but didn't get too much information other than that it was very large.
And absorb heat, only solar energy. It doesn't seem to be problematic in any way.
I was only able to save people. I couldn't really figure out what this thing was.
What about you, John? America looks
You-
over at you.
He wasn't exactly interested in the. Actually, he did stop and went over to the crystals, which he normally doesn't do when he's hunting, so that's something. Didn't really get a much of a look from what he told me, but he felt drawn to it, so that's something to consider. Did you see him like ash from his hair? It's kind of like tries.
Any of you able to touch one of these things?
No.
I have not tried.
I also didn't attempt to touch it. Just tried to get like a tactical read on it as best I could.
America.
I mean,
Okay.
sorry, go ahead.
No,
I wasn't going to say anything important. Go ahead.
America says, Electra. Has anyone heard from Electra? Uatu, can you see her? Oh no. And America does that thing that you recognize where she kind of peers into the multiverse with her senses. And she says, oh no, I think Electra needs help. I need you all to go to Electra's universe, 616. Find her. If she's okay, get her to join this mission. You all need to figure this out, but also help whoever was affected by it. And we'll do what we can as well. I'll keep trying to move back time to at least get some people out of the way before it happens. Oh, also, Uatu, that other one. Uatu says, yes. There's another that we are calling into service. In another realm, another multiverse. After you find Electra, we need you to go to add someone else to the team.
Who are they?
Their name is Yamaya.
For that.
Yamaya?
America says yes. Yamaya and what was She peers again using her senses. You can see she's looking past everything in the room to the multiverse. That's the one. It's T2637. Let me know once you've found Electra, and I'll send you a portal to that one.
Confirmed.
Okay, we'll keep working here. And she waves her. Actually, I forget how America Chavez does it. She has like a cool thing she does when she opens portals. She does that, and a star portal opens up in this room, big enough for you all to walk through.
Aid will don their shield.
Business.
Okay, superhero lineup moment. Aid, you don your shield. What do the rest of you do before you walk like badasses into the star portal as we end our session?
Divinity just grabs their hood and just like pushes it past down their helmet. As they look down, they kind of whisper to themselves and say, "Well, at least she's alive here." And they make their way inside.
Well, Usnavi is definitely gonna walk towards the middle of this group, and he just kind of sheds the burned black hoodie that he was wearing. And he just kind of depowers himself so he looks like a normal person.
Okay. John
just corrects his uniform, and as all of them walk, actually, that's a good question. And how often did they see him transform, like the whole team?
I've probably seen it a few times.
I haven't, but I'm brand new, so.
I imagine Morningstar has seen it a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm. So, giving the new person a bit of a scare, he kind of adjusts, he kind of corrects his uniform so it's nice and proper. And since he transformed not so long ago, it's actually easier. So he just kind of, the flame just bursts from his eyes, mouth, everything, and just turns into a burning skeleton in a World War I soldier's uniform. Probably scaring Divinity.
We see the backs of you all lined up, walking into this star portal, disappearing into the other end, stepping into Earth 616, where a lot of our viewers might be more familiar. You step out onto a New York City street downtown. You see chaos, madness, as buildings have been destroyed by this crystal pillar piercing through the reality. And that's where we end our session.
Wow. So
Aid's immediate internal reaction is, wow, this place sucks.
John is just like, what is this?
Everything is in color and not in sepia tones.
Mm-hmm. Everything is in color. Everything is modern. What?
the video just takes out their cell phone and just like for the gram.
Hey, it's me, Divinity. I'm in the multiverse again.
It's your boy. It's your boy. So I hope y'all enjoyed this session. What an incredible first session. Thank you, of course, for coming by. Thank you, of course, Aliza, for bringing this multiverse story together. It's been absolutely phenomenal. You, of course, it's Kaz. You all killed the scenes. I was just like, I need a popcorn. I need a popcorn right now. It was incredible, every single one. And of course, thank you to our viewers, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And we'll be back for next week for our next episode of the new Vanguards. But until then, farewell for now.